Hey everyone, this is Robin again, and we're doing the next video in our Gordon Method series. The video that we covered last time was the five-finger pattern, and now with that five-finger pattern, like I told you, that was one of the most important patterns that I'll teach you for a little while. The next thing that we're going to do is cover basic chords, and chords are a collection of three or more notes, and they're some of the most basic building blocks of making music. So here's the five-finger pattern on C. Remember that: start, whole step, half step, whole step. Start, whole, whole, half, whole. And we're going to treat that as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same thing here: start, whole, whole, half, whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the first chord is going to be our major chord. And when you do your five-finger pattern, that's start, whole step, half step, whole step. And if you hit 1, 3, and 5 at the same time, that's going to be your major chord, and it has a happy sound to it. According to numbers, that's 1, 3, and 5. And the symbol for that is capital M or capital M-A-J or a triangle. That's our major chord. It sounds happy. Again, here's our minor chord: 1, flat 3, and 5. So we take 1, we take that middle note, which is 3, and we flat it or take it down a half step, and we do 5. That's our minor chord, and it sounds sad. And according to the numbers, that's 1, flat 3, and 5. And according to the symbols for that, you have M-I-N, or you have a small m, or you'll have the minus sign. Any one of those symbols would work. And we name that chord according to, for right now, we name it according to our thumb. So this is a C major chord, and this is a C minor chord. The next chord that we're going to learn is the diminished chord. So that's 1, flat 3, and flat 5. And for me, that sounds like an old scary movie chord. I can just imagine some lady tied to a tracks and saying, "Ah!" screaming as the train is coming. And that's what that chord reminds me of. What you want to do is you'll want to decide how these chords sound to you. I'm just telling you how they sound to me. Okay? So major chord, minor chord, diminished chord. 1, flat 3, and flat 5 kind of sounds scary. And according to the symbols, you see that as D-I-M, or you see that as a circle or 0. Okay? The next chord is a suspended fourth chord, and according to the numbers, it's 1, 4, and 5. Suspended fourth chord, and when we resolve it, it resolves to either a major chord or a minor chord, depending on whether or not you're in a major or a minor key. But you would never end a song on a diminished, on a suspended fourth chord. Okay? So the next chord that we're going to learn is an augmented chord. We have 1, 3, and sharp 5. And to me, it sounds like a train chord. It sounds like the horns on a train. But you'll have to decide how it sounds to you. And according to the numbers, it's 1, 3, and sharp 5, like we said before. And you will see symbols for this being AUG, or a plus sign. Augmented chord. So those are the chords that we're going to learn: major chord, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, resolve it to a major, and an augmented chord. Okay? That was all in the key of C. So this would be our C major chord, this would be our C minor chord, our C diminished chord, our C suspended fourth chord, resolve it back to a C major chord, and here's C augmented. Okay, here is C sharp. Start, whole, whole, half, whole. That five-finger pattern that we covered before. Here's our major chord. If we hit 1, 3, and 5 at the same time, according to that five-finger pattern. Here's our minor chord. Here's our diminished chord. Our suspended fourth chord. And our major chord. And our augmented chord. And that was C sharp major, C sharp minor, C sharp diminished, C sharp suspended fourth, C sharp major, C sharp augmented. Same thing for D here. I'm just going to go through them pretty quickly. Start whole, whole, half whole. So D major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, and augmented. E flat, major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, and augmented. Same thing here on E. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, augmented. Here's F. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, augmented. And that's how I want you to practice it when you're doing it at home. Here's F sharp. So F sharp major, F sharp minor, F sharp diminished, F sharp suspended fourth, F sharp major, F sharp augmented. Okay, here is G. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, augmented. A flat. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, augmented. Here's A. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, and augmented. Here's B flat. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, augmented. Here's B. Major, minor, diminished, suspended fourth, major, and augmented. And you can be done. Now I want you to go through that when you practice it. I want you to do that about, when you do your 5-finger pattern 20 times up and down like we discussed before, I want you to do that about 10 times every single day. So after you do your 5-finger pattern 20 times, etc., then go through all of those chords. That's 1, 2, 3, etc. Do that 10 times. So, and also another thing that I want you to do when you play your notes, by the way, you want to make certain that your notes are connected and separated. This is connected. You have all of this overlap with the notes, and it sounds horrible. Here's separated. You have all of this gap, all of this space in between the notes. We want to make certain that our notes are connected and separated at the same time, which means that you hold your note right up to the next note. So there's no gaps in between, and there's no overlaps. No two notes played at the same time, and no space in between these notes. It'll take some practice, but you'll get it. The next thing I want you to do is to make certain that your fingers are as close to these notes as possible. So we don't want to play our notes and our fingers be all up in the air like this. No, none of that. You'll have a lot more control if you can keep your notes, keep your fingers as close to these notes as possible. So, happy practicing, and I'll see you next time.